I am about to take myself to bed in just a little bit. But before I take myself to bed, I'm going to ramble about Westworld. I have not watched the seasons yet, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I liked about a lot of these guys here. So I actually have a list that I just made up. Westworld number one. The most memorable thing about this was finding out that there was a Japan world that was supposed to be like a secret. And I really like that idea that they pushed very early that there are other parks. And that goes right into the next thing, which is the location of where the parks are for Westworld. Because you have to realize that Westworld is multiple little islands or parks where these different activities take place. So there's a Japan world, supposedly. There's a West world. There's a future world. There's an India world. There's all kinds of things. I mean, it's mainly for the rich people, not for people like me. Mainly for the rich people. And the most incredible thing is, this is taking place in the China Seas. So basically, everyone who watches the news and everything today has this understanding that in that area they don't have the same rules as you do in the US, so you can pretty much do anything you want, which is one of the beautiful parts, well, to them beautiful parts about what you can do once you go to the island with the robots. You can do whatever you want to. You can shoot them. Oh, FYI, this part here is not for kids, because I will be talking about Glocks and guns and gun braces in just a few moments. It's going to be very interesting. And also prostitution, which is legal there. It's interesting. Anyway, one of the things that I found that was amazing, oh, there it is, I found it. When you get to season 2, where is season 2? What does season 2 look like? Which one is season 2? Okay, oh, here we go. This is season 2 here. When you get to season 2, she gets off the island, which is cool. Is it a spoiler? No. The show's canceled. Doesn't matter. And you know they're eventually going to get there with so many seasons. And that's where you get a chance to see the really cool technology. Now, let's go for the guns. I'm not a gun addict, okay? I'm letting you know that right now. I'm not a gun fanatic. But when I'm watching the main lady basically call an Uber, and when she calls an Uber, it is a driverless 6, maybe 8 person little medium-sized car. Not a lot of protection in there. It's pretty much a glass house, but it's nice, and there's no driver, so there's nobody to tip. It's just a service that's given. Even on the roads, and this is the near future, there's hardly anybody driving around. There's a couple of cars here and there, but for the most part, everything is pretty quiet, which brings into play in the future, near future, if they keep on going the way they are with the EVs and everything else, they will take away the ability to drive on the road without certain specs. So eventually, there will be very few cars on the road, and that's what we're seeing here. So that driverless Uber thing, that was kind of awesome to see, because it was such a pleasant thing. She just called for it. It showed up. It took her where she wanted to go, and it went away. It's easy as pie. And I'm gonna jump up into banking. Banking with blood. In other words, you open up your iPad or whatever, or your tablet device, or you're at the bank, and the way you prove that you are who you say you are is you need to do a drop of blood, which reminds me of the movie, where is it? Gattaca. In Gattaca, blood is used consistently to prove your identity, to move on from one thing to another. Excuse me, a little gassy. It's that Mountain Dew. Now, that was awesome, but in the near future, she also purchased a motorcycle at some point. And me, I'm a cafe racer fan, and because I love cafe racers, because it's the, you can see the gut, the belly of the engine. You know what I'm saying? But it's an EV that she has. She has a freaking EV, and it's an interesting bike, but we never saw the actual purchase of it. So there's an assumption that she bought it wirelessly. And the cool part about the motorcycle was the motorcycle got up, like it's always standing straight up, and it came to her with the helmet. So at first I thought she stole it, and then I realized she might have bought that. I don't know. I gotta go back and double check to make sure. Again, that was in season 2. Yeah, I was like, I think she bought that. Now, time has passed and everything. Let's go back to guns. Now, when it comes to guns, there is a Glock that is featured in here. And I don't know if this Glock is actually a prototype Glock or is it a Glock that is in total use. But the main person, blonde lady, she has a little clutch that she's walking around with. And when she's hopping out of the Uber, you see her go to her clutch and unfold a Glock. And I was like, I didn't know it would be that freaking small. It's like, if you get a clip, a Glock clip, and then you basically fold it in half, it's about the size of a large, thick cell phone as opposed to being a weapon. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and I was like, is she ready to go? I was like, get out of here. That impressed me. That impressed me a lot. I am not a gun fanatic, but that impressed me. And then we had the gun brace. Okay, the gun brace is actually heavily featured in this. Probably, I want to say season 3. It is heavily shown in season 3. And the cool tech about the gun brace is the original gun brace was to help a soldier who still wanted to shoot at the range or whatever after the war in real life, in our time, our real life, right here, right now. That's where the gun braces started coming in. But the gun brace that's used in this show it's digital and it's auto targeting. So basically, if you can't shoot good, it's gonna correct you. It's gonna move it a little bit more to the right, a little bit more to the left, or whatever to hit the target. So it's always adjusting to make sure that you hit whatever your target is. And I was like, oh man, that's genius. That's absolutely genius. I love that. And then hang on, where's that? I already scratched out the gun brace. And then we got the Mexican cartel or Latino cartel or whatever it is. I don't know who I got to go back. It was actually in season 4. I was like dumbfounded when I saw this here. They took over Hoover Dam. Now, if you live in a world where everything is digital, everything is electric, where do you get the most power? You get the power from the damn dams, because the damn dams, like the Hoover Dam, is what people need. It's the source. It's better than drugs, because they need that power to power all of their stuff. Without that damn dam, you can't do anything. And I was like, oh man, the cartel took over the dam, and since they have the power, they'll have the power to do the servers, keep the servers going, keep the computers going, keep the cars going, keep everything going. And I'm like, oh man, this is intense. So the whole cartel taking over Hoover Dam is like, damn. Prostitution. Now, prostitution is a really cool one, because remember I told you earlier about the Weeknd song was in there. There's a scene where the Weeknd song is playing in the background via piano, and there is a situation where one buddy is talking to another buddy, almost like they're college buddies or whatever. Hey, let's go on ahead and we can buy this person whatever for the night or whatever. And he's like, come on, man. What do you say? What do you say? She's got all the shots. She's registered. She's good to go. She's clean. And I was like, just saying those 3 things, I was like, damn, what kind of world these guys are living in? So I'm looking here, and there were 3 more things that I needed to add. Okay? So I guess it's going to be part 2, because we don't do 10 minutes. And we're still talking about WestWorld. We're still talking about the tech and the stuff that I saw, that I remember, because it's been almost a year now. And these three things, I I was gonna let it go. I realized now that each one of these three is very important. Number one is the glasses tell all. The rich people had these glasses. They're just as thick as mine. Okay, thin or thick as mine, but they had an internal display where you can look at a person and you can see through facial recognition what their name was, what their occupation was. Is this a person you should be hanging out with? What their value is, how much they owe in everything in their life, who their relatives are, and because of this big ball computer that has the ability to do a lot of estimations and calculations, how long you're gonna live. Now, like in the movie Gattaca, there was a computer in here or a test to show how healthy a person was and how long a person had the ability to live. Wasn't 100% sure. No, it wasn't 100% science, but based on just relatively how healthy you were, they can tell whether you had a bad heart condition or whatever, and basically say you're gonna live to like 54, 55, 82, whatever. But the one in Westworld was totally different because it predicted your circumstances and who you hung out with and all this. There was a lot of extra data put in there, and that's really what Westworld was all about. Westworld was seriously about, if we can get the data from the people, we can predict what they do and we can tell them what to do in a subtle way. And this, me talking about those glasses that the rich people had, also feeds into another thing that was heavily seen in, I want to say, season 3, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But there's a lady with red lipstick, leather mask. You ready to make money? She comes on the screen and like, let's make some money, bitches. And when I first started, I was like, what? How? It looks like we've dropped to a new low level. How low can we go? Oh, this is real low here. Okay. Realistic. This is what it broke down to. You know, right now you can do DoorDash and you can do Guru.com and do these small jobs here and there. What if you had a reason to go out and get a person who you knew was doing drugs, and you wanted to go and get that person that was doing drugs, and you get that person and take them to a rehab center, okay? Stick some Narcan in their nose, get them to a rehab center, but you didn't want the cops involved, so you would basically hire somebody else. So there's odd jobs that were always available. And the beautiful part about the odd jobs were, these odd jobs were displayed and available for you to pick which one you want to do, and you can accept the assignment or not accept the assignment. If you accept the assignment, automatically, bing, the money is in your account. You know what I'm saying? And the beautiful part was, they would always, it's like you needed this much money, they would always give you about that much money right there. They wouldn't give you more or less. You know what I'm saying? They give you just enough to almost have what you needed. You always got to do another job. And you see this in season 3, near the end, when there's a bunch of assassins who are doing a job, and then she, the main person in the show, she turns around, and what she does is she says, "I'll pay you 3 times the amount if you go against your fellow assassins." Ching! And they go against them. Now, my question is this a fair system? Is the giant robot giving out these assignments to make things happen, to make its predictions true? In other words, if it predicts that a person's supposed to die at 35, is it setting up a situation to ensure that that person gets killed at the age of 35? I'm just saying. I love the idea of make some money, bitches. You ready to make money? The other thing is robot assistance. So I think early in season 2, this popped up where the male main character is available and he's doing his job. It's a simple job. His job is construction. He has no fear of heights. And what he does is he works with a robot from Delos, the same people that make the fake human robots. But it's a classic hard body robot. It's not a soft body robot. Don't let me start talking about soft robots. I love Disney. Anyway, that I have this feed where Disney is sending me research stuff, and it's really awesome because I'm like, so that's a robot. It looks like a. So it's got 200 tentacles. Oh, you managed to break it down to just 6. And it still moves like, get out of here. Show me what it looks like on the inside. That is so awesome, Disney. I love you. Anyway, how much time we got? 6 minutes. Okay. I gotta look at the clock. The robot assistant is, I think he's red and gray or black or something like that. And he's a sad looking robot. There's nothing special about him. He's there to assist the human in working in high altitudes and getting the stuff constructed because he's doing construction. So the robot is there to assist. And it appears that the robot is awake and conscious all the time. The robot never gets turned off. He's always on. And at the end of the night, the human, the main character, chains the robot up. And I'm like, because at first I was like weirded out. Is he chaining the robot up because the robot can get up and walk away if he feels like it? Like maybe he gets bored and just gets up and walks away? Or is he chaining the robot up because somebody might steal him? And I don't think I had an absolute answer to that question. Why did he chain up the robot? I still don't know why he chained the robot up. Is it to stop theft or is it to stop the robot? And in that brief moment, and this is where I wrap up everything, there's a sadness to the robot that is doing the construction work because he is technically a mechanical slave. He cannot leave that area. He belongs to Delos and belongs to that construction site and is chained down at that construction site. So never mind the folding Glock, the really awesome motorcycle, the glasses tell all, the gun brace, the driverless Uber vehicle, and even Japan World. This is one moment where I actually felt a little on the sad side for the robot because it was technically just another slave to help build the world for humans. You know? And the fact that it was always on, it stayed on all the time. You know? And yeah, that for a brief moment, that bothered me. I was like, oh, this is some sad shit.